What's going on, everyone? Today on the Klepcx show, Marvel's bailing out on San Diego Comic-Con 2023. Zendaya dropped a spicy new trailer. We got BMo The Prince from TikTok in the building, and an interview from the cast of From, all on the Klepcx show. It's about to go down. Time to talk about it. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Klepcx FM. I'm back. And of course, I came with my friends. I got none other than my guy, my homeboy, Mickey Miggs. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Clep? Good to be here once again. Week 2, let's go.
Yeah, man, it's been a week, but we had to bring somebody else in the building because she bailed on us last time.
Ooh.
But now she's here. Now she's here this week. I mean, calling out day one. We got Jelly in the building. What's going on, Jelly?
What's up, guys?
I see you got the nerd gear on.
Of course, I had to.
Represent.
Right, representing right there. We got the cap shield in the back. Salute to the cap. And we got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about Marvel Studios. We're going to be talking about Bad Bunny. We're going to be talking about new trailers that dropped last week and new trailers that also dropped today. And I have a very special interview with a cast member from the MGM Plus series From, so you don't want to miss that. And we also got a special guest in the house with us, BMo The Prince. That's right, BMo The Prince is here with us, and we're going to be talking about social media. We're going to be talking about pop culture, movies, television, and all that fun stuff. But let's start with this. Last week was a show.
It kind of was.
You missed out.
Yeah.
We attempted to go live, so I want to address the technical difficulties, because when you try to go live, you have technical difficulties. So I tried to do the right thing. In the beginning of this whole thing, me and my man Al Mega, we were on the search, on the hunt for a really cool spot to build a home base.
Yeah.
This is how the birth of CXCC Studios came about, right? So I'm thinking, okay, we got the perfect location. It's the perfect price for us. Everything's good. It's kind of rural. We're in a rural kind of place, right? You think we're in a rural place? It's rural, but at the same time, it's a little. It's
Too rural.
Yeah, it's a little too rural. So our internet connection, right? Their only provider in the entire area is DSL.
Oh.
And I'm not talking about the other thing.
Oh.
For those who know what I'm talking about. Yeah, DSL. No cable internet whatsoever.
No fiber.
No fiber.
Dial-up.
Listen, they might as well connect the service to a dove and send it out the window to get to where we needed to go. So right now, as of now, we're going to be going pre-recorded for y'all. We're going to keep bringing the show to you guys. There is a conversion coming, so they say. There's a conversion.
Okay.
A conversion coming, but they don't know when. They promised us later this year. It's already later this year, but we'll see. But until then, we're going to keep bringing you guys the content the way that we know how to bring the content, and that's pre-recorded, and we're going to keep going. So, like it or not. So, the internet, man. The internet has been giving us some gifts this week.
Always.
There's been a lot of things coming about in the movie industry game, in the TV game. But more than anything, we like the trailers.
Always, yeah.
I like the trailers.
Keeps it
I
fresh.
enjoy the trailers.
Like I show up to the movie theaters early just so I can get the trailers. Like that's the only reason that I'm there. Probably like 30 minutes beforehand. I gotta catch the trailers. If I don't catch the trailers, it kind of ruins my movie experience. Like even if I've already seen the trailers, I need to see the trailers again while I'm in the theater, even though I already know. And then I play this game with myself, even though no one's listening, and I call out the trailer before anybody knows what it is.
Is that a bit annoying to the people out there?
I don't care.
He's like, it's
I
crazy.
know what's coming up.
Yeah. I'll be like, as soon as it drops, I'm like, oh, that's this. That's this. You know what I mean?
Trailers are like the best part when you go to the movies.
They're like part of the experience. They're like the best part. Like I put that up there with the snacks. Actually, I'll put trailers before snacks for me.
Yeah.
Because I've skipped snacks, so I don't miss the trailers.
He's like, I just won't eat nothing, no popcorn this time.
And if you have kids, you're just rushing into the theater.
Yeah, that's why I like to go alone. Like I'd rather go alone because you don't have to worry about no one messing up your experience. But there have been some great trailers that have dropped this week. Specifically today, we've got some brand new trailers.
What we got?
I don't know if you guys seen that Zendaya. I don't want to mess up her name because she's a queen.
Zendaya.
She's a queen.
Mm-hmm.
She has she's broken out of that childhood shell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you who have not seen this trailer,
Look at that shot.
And you're living under
That was
a rock.
the first thing I saw, and I was like, oh.
That's
sure,
a thumbnail if I see
yeah,
one.
pretty sure that's the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail for the trailer.
Yeah.
Like she's not playing around like Tom Holland. Who like?
Ooh.
Like I understand. Like this gave me Cruel Intention vibes.
A little bit. I could see that. I could
Cruel
definitely
Intention
see that.
vibes.
Yeah.
I'm so ready to watch this movie. Like I don't even know. I know a little bit about what it's about. Like kind of. No, I don't know what it's about. Let me stop lying. I just know that she's bossing it through the whole thing.
Right.
She's running the whole game. These guys think that they know what's going on, but they have no idea what they're in for. I don't know. So I gotta ask a lady's perspective.
Yeah. Do it
You
up.
saw this trailer, Jelly.
Yeah.
What did you think, and how did this trailer make you feel? Like,
She's definitely in her grown element.
yeah.
It's not something I'm used to. So I'm like, huh. Like, I'm interested to see more just to see where it goes. Because although with the trailer it shows, you know, she's playing tennis. She has these boys on her back. They interested. She's, you know, giving a little kiss there and there. But I don't exactly know where this story is going to take me. And that's what I'm interested in.
Yeah, and I feel like it's going to give us like that same kind of vibe as like Cruel Intentions. Because the movie, we really didn't know what it was about. We just knew it was.
I don't know why too. It gives me like little dark vibes. Like
Like something bad is gonna happen at the end of that. Like there might be like somebody being held at gunpoint or.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's definitely, we got it's like a sports movie with a backdrop of some type of love triangle.
Yeah.
We did get some gore just in the trailer, so you know we're going to get more of that in the movie.
Gore? I didn't see gore.
Oh, when she broke her leg?
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
not gore.
Oh, wait. Have you ever seen a bone sticking
I
out
don't
of a
wanna see
person?
bone sticking out.
That's
Ugh.
rough, brother.
I mean, not in person, but I mean that.
It gets rough. It gets rough.
I feel you, but yeah, no, I'm all in on this one. I'm definitely going to check this out. I'm not missing this for nothing. I might even attend like an early screening for this.
Okay.
And I think it's gonna do well. And we need more movies like this that are outside of the genre of like say the superhero stuff, the big blockbusters. We need more rom-coms, more thrillers, more dramatic films because I feel like the industry's been saturated for a while, and this is definitely the right time for that movie. Right move for Zendaya. I cannot wait to see this movie. The name of the movie is
Challengers.
Too. Everything she does, I feel like I look forward to it because I know she's gonna deliver. You know, and she picks and chooses what she wants. I can tell. She's not in everything just to be in everything. You know.
Well, I mean, she has been tied up too. Like, think about the long contracts she's had. Like, she's had Marvel. She's also had Euphoria.
She got Doom coming up.
She got Doom. So she's been tied up for some time. So to see her be able to flex and do something like this, like I love the human pieces, the human stories. Like blockbusters are good. I love that action. but to see like these actors step into like human roles, like that's what I'm here for.
Bring us back to reality a little bit.
Yeah. So what do you think? You in there? Are you in there?
I watch it. You know, I definitely with the work she's been doing on HBO's Euphoria, and now this, like you said, she's definitely trying to shed that Disney crowd, right? Like she's grown. She's grown.
I mean, I think she's already shed that crowd, but...
especially after Euphoria.
Oh yeah. Euphoria. Listen,
that was a really good show.
But her and Tom Holland, like I don't know if you've seen his last couple of things, like Cherry.
I have not seen Cherry.
I didn't see that either.
Yo, it is not for the Spider-Man fans. I'll tell you that much. Like he's on his basketball diaries. I'll say it just like that.
Okay.
He's on
Dark.
He's on his basketball diaries. But yeah, Zendaya, guys, she's in a brand new film coming out. It's a Warner movie too.
Okay.
Warner, they coming out with some heat. That might have been part of the Dune deal. Warner's like, we got her. Let's get her for another movie.
Sign her up.
Touche, Warner. So yeah, Zendaya challenges. She's also in that with Michael Foss is his name, and he's from West Side Story and also from a show called Panic that I like. That a lot of people didn't know about, but it's on Amazon. Check it out. Based on a novel, book, very popular book. It's very wild. I liked it. I had a good time with it. But yeah, I'm excited for that.
Okay.
Challengers.
Now you think the crowd's gonna be divided into who she gonna pick?
Well, I watched the trailer very thoroughly, and at one point she picked them both. So one was the boyfriend, one she marries.
Ooh.
And then, what I picked up in the trailer.
But
in the trailer, it said that she married one of them.
Yeah.
She's with Mike.
It's
she
like
marries Mike, but
Yeah,
in the beginning, more of a boyfriend to the other one. And I picked up on like that in the like the trailer.
seems like it take place over a couple years, right?
Yeah. Which was kind of weird because they still look the same age.
Hey.
Of course they do. They
But
do.
yeah, I can't wait to see it, guys. That's Challengers. But that's not the only trailer that came out.
No,
No.
we had a big one.
This one was actually like last minute.
Okay.
Like I was like scrambling, trying to get the show together, put things together, and then all of a sudden I saw Dumb Money come across the screen, and I was like, wait a minute, this is not what I think it is. For all of you guys who do remember or don't remember, during the pandemic there was a time when there was a crash in the what's it called, the
Stock market.
stock market crashed. But there was some Reddit people out there who wasn't trying to have it,
Right.
and they didn't want to lose we didn't want to lose the movie theaters, AMC.
AMC was one of the big ones.
And we damn sure didn't want to lose GameStop.
GameStop, man. Shout out to GameStop, man, providing tons of entertainment for people like me out here.
So this is a movie about the GameStop meme stock and how it crashed the market,
right,
and made a lot of people wealthy and a lot of people not wealthy.
Right. Those hedge funds got hit hard, and it's astounding that we're getting this movie so soon from the actual events.
Yeah.
Look like they have it done, ready to go. Let's go.
But the cast is what caught my eye. Al, can you throw that? We got to see this cast. Look at this. This is what do you think of this? What is this?
I mean, we got some heavy hitters in the house.
Seth Rogen, I love everything he does, so I'm just like, I'm here. I'm here for it. I love him.
No, you gotta put that back up, Al. I gotta look at that because I'm still trying to process this.
And you know we're missing some people here because Vincent D'Onofrio's in there.
And I go by his actor name,
Paul Dano,
Rob Stark.
we got Paul.
Rob Stark in there.
We got Paul Dano. We got Sebastian Stan. We got Pete Davidson and Seth Rogen. If someone told me this was like, just look at these guys, this is the pitch, I'm gonna be like, what movie is this? What is this?
It looks like a comedy to me.
I wonder what.
I mean, you got two comedians, two guys known for doing comedy, and then you have a heavily dramatic actor like Paul Dano in there.
Paul Dano could be anything.
He could do it. I mean, he's a good actor, bro.
He could be an animal. He could be a human. He could be a chair.
He could be in Tropic Thunder too.
Yeah. He could be a thing, being a thing disguised as another thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You got it.
That's news too. We didn't talk about that one. But yeah, this looks really interesting. Like I like true stories. I mean, I'm a little against like true stories that come out too soon. Like for one of the reasons I don't like the Notorious movie. I think that Biggie movie is horrendous and horrible because it was too soon. And everybody that was involved in that is still around. So how much of the truth are they really going to give you? So I hope that this kind of stays true to what it is and what happened. I'm extremely interested in it because I want to know. I kind of tried to jump on the trend, but I was a little late. You know what I mean? But I just think that that's a fascinating story. I don't know, Jelly.
My question is, because you're just putting me onto this right now.
Yeah.
My question is, because Seth likes to write and produce, is he writing any of it? Is he producing any of it?
I think he might be involved in it. I don't know. I didn't look it up. But like I said, this dropped like today, and I wasn't even prepared. I was like, oh wow, I knew about it. I heard about this movie. We reported on it on WeAreCritics.com, but I never looked into it, and I didn't know when it was coming, and it just kind of crept up on me. So I'm gonna assume, because like you said, he's more of a behind the scenes guy as well as a guy in the front. I think he is probably heavily involved in this, if not at least a producer on it, and probably not just him. Pete Davidson's probably involved as well, but I don't know. What about you? You into it?
Hey man, I was into this when it was going down. Unfortunately I didn't jump on the trend. So Wall Street Bets, shout out to you, big Reddit guy over here. I try to keep my ears on the internet, on those dark corners, because there's money to be made.
Oh shit!
That's scary.
We'll fix that.
I'm gonna do it in post. Fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post.
But anyways, yeah, man, like I'm super excited. Like I said, I was keeping an eye on this when it was going down. Ape Strong Together, right? Like that's what they were saying when they were trying to make. I mean, they defunded some of these hedge funds, right? Like there was a lot of money moving back then when all this went down. So yeah, it makes a hell of a story. I really want to see it.
Yeah, listen, like I said, the trailers are bananas right now. There's a lot of good things coming to the theaters outside of the big superhero genres. Like, trust me, I'm one of the biggest fans. Jelly's one of the biggest fans. My man Miggs. We are all big fans. My man Al Mega in the back.
Hey,
shout out to Al Mega in the back. We're all big fans of the big blockbuster stuff, but it's real cinema and it's the real stories being told, and I'm excited for it. And speaking of things that I'm excited for, we never even got a chance to talk about it. Jelly, what are you watching these days? What's on your radar right now? What are you watching?
Oh my God! So I just got into The Idol with The Weeknd and Rose.
I gave it a shot.
Yeah,
I watched the first episode.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's dark.
It's very dark.
I feel like I am predicting what can happen, and I'm kind of hoping that they just throw a curveball and put a big ass plot twist, because there's like 3 different ways that the first season can end, and I can see it. But I'm really it's so far 3 episodes already. It's really good. It's dark. I you know what I said? It's perfect for The Weeknd. It makes me think of his mixtapes put in show form.
He's creepy as hell.
Creepy as hell.
Like,
creepy
I don't
as
even know
But have you
how
ever
women
listened
find
to
this
his
man
mixtapes?
attractive.
Have you ever listened to his mixtapes? Even his albums. He's dark. He talks about sex, drugs, all this stuff. Just being a fucked up person. But I think that role is perfect for him in The Idol, because that's the exact person he's playing.
Yeah, I watched the first episode, and I was into it a little bit because I love the character. The characters are very colorful, so you're not bored. You're getting to learn everybody, and everybody's just kind of nailing their role.
Development.
Yeah, like really fast. Like you're like really into it. Even the lead, Johnny Depp's daughter.
Lily Rose.
Rose Depp.
Johnny Depp's daughter. Even her, like, she's come a long way since Yoga Hosers.
Hosers, yeah, man. That's what I was thinking when I was seeing this.
That's my introduction to her, is The Idol.
Yeah, yeah. She was in Yoga Hosers, a Kevin Smith movie. She's best friends with Kevin Smith's daughter, and I was into it. I'm like watching it, but that one scene, you know, when he goes to the house and
The Weeknd?
Yeah. When
he's like scoping it out and stuff.
Yeah, he's just.
But
dude.
But you can tell in the second episode, I think it was, that they were like, oh, this dude, this is his name. He owes this one and this one money. So I'm like, all right, he's using her to get his name up there, and the funny thing is, he has artists. Yeah. So he owns a club. He has artists, but he goes through like these, I want to say like trainings with them, where it's very intimate, but like you question it, like what the hell are you doing?
Remember how you felt when you watched Hereditary?
Okay, creepy.
That's how you'll feel.
Gross. I need a shower.
That's how you'll feel when you watch The Weeknd and The Idol.
Okay.
It's just, I don't even like the guy now. Like, I'm just like,
Because that's what you're comparing to.
I don't know.
Okay.
No, but
just that hairy taste on your tongue. Just,
with his rat tail.
Oh. Yeah, man. It's just
sleazy.
It's like why you want to hang with this? Why you want to hang out with this guy? Like he looks like he will be in your back pocket immediately. Like
he has a control factor over people.
Oh yeah, he's just a weirdo, bro.
Like he finds out what your weakness is and then uses that against you.
Sounds interesting.
And she's gonna keep watching.
Hey.
I am. I got my boyfriend onto it. He's like, I like this. I was like, I bet you do.
Yeah.
Those Sunday night HBO shows, man. I'm telling you.
I'll probably go back to it when the time. You're not now saying what's good. From is over.
Yeah,
we'll watch it.
Oh, I just finished watching that too.
Oh, listen, we're gonna talk about From right now. As a matter of fact,
do it.
So we're gonna take a little bit of a breakout, but when we come back, I'm gonna be sitting down one-on-one with Scott McCord. Some of you may know as the character Victor on the MGM Plus series From. That's right. He's gonna be talking to me about this finale that's coming up this Sunday. I know a lot of you are excited, like I am. From season 2, season finale is coming up this weekend, and we're gonna be talking about it with Scott when we come back. And also, BMo The Prince is in the building, y'all, so stick around. You don't want to miss this. I'll see you in a bit.
Hey, fellow critics. I am Jelly, and we are CritiX.com had a way to get you involved with the updates that we report in a segment we like to call Stream a Little Stream. You tell us what you watch, are watching, or looking forward to watching, and we will use our platform to keep everyone up to date about what's worth streaming or about to stream. And we will share that on our platform week to week. So head on over to Twitter, follow We Are Critics, and tell us what shows or movies streaming you recommend. After all, it's not about what we like, it's about what you like. I'm Jelly for WeAreCritics.com. Until next time, sweet streams.
What's going on? It's Club Napier here. And guys, yes, my guest today, if you guys are not watching this show, you are missing the train. I'm telling you, we're talking about MGM Plus From, and you all may know him as Victor. I got my guy Scott McCord. How you doing, brother? What's going on?
Hey, man. Good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. I mean, we spoke last time, and I totally
Yeah.
forgot to thank. I meant to say congratulations on season 2. And I
Thank
and I
you.
and I want to know how. Tell me about the experience this go around. What's the difference between season 1 going into season 2, and how was it? Because it gets crazier this season.
It's it certainly does get crazier this season. Well, I think probably the big difference is just was that was this arc, this great journey that John Griffin and Jeff Pinkner gave Victor this season. A lot of big milestone moments. For Victor. Going into his memories, a lot of reveals, new connections with people. Because he's sort of a loner. And so there was just more of everything, more Victor, more scenes with some of the other actors on the show, which was great. I got to work with Harold. I got to work with Catalina, David Alpay, who plays Jade. We had our own little adventures. So yeah, there was all kinds of new stuff. It was great.
Yeah, talk to me about one of the most standout moments during this season for you as Victor, or even just you just going back into it. What's one of the best or craziest moments that you can remember?
Craziest moments. Well, I definitely remember going back on day 1, and it was right at the kick of the summer. And, here we have season 2, and, we were all everybody was all back together again. And Catalina and I were, we were shooting some exterior stuff out in the woods. And that leads up to us going into the peach truck, with everybody. And I just remember that moment of being back there with everybody and Harold and everything. And we all just felt so thrilled, certainly, to be back together and get this opportunity to do it again. But also that the family had been developed, that there was all this great support, that there was this thing that was happening that felt bigger than the show. You know what I mean? That to me was really exciting. And then I would say there were so many scenes, I had so much fun with everybody. But I would say another highlight was that scene of the reveal of Eloise with the back of the car when I opened the car and I find those drawings, just because I didn't see that coming. I didn't think I certainly didn't think Victor had a sister, and so it was a wonderful and terrifying, beautiful challenge to get there that day to shoot that scene, man. I'll tell you that. But it was great. It was great.
Yeah, that was one of my absolute favorite scenes, and I love the
Thank
stuff
you.
with Victor and Ethan. I hope we get more of that. I mean, are the rumors true? Is there season 3?
Yeah, there are some rumors flying around. I see that there's these confirmations online and whatever else. There is no official confirmation on a series order for season 3 as of yet, but I would, look, we've got I know, man. And we've got the last episode coming up here on Sunday. And I think let's just all formally, everyone, the entity, let's just keep it up in the air and going and get to that 10th episode. And if we all show up, it all helps.
Yeah.
Going in the right direction, right?
Listen, I got a glimpse of the 10th episode, and it goes from 0 to 100 really quick. Really quick. I want to know in your own words, what can you tell the fans to expect in this finale coming up this weekend?
I'd say this, that I think that they're going to get a great cliffhanger. You know that. There's they're going to get a great cliffhanger. Man, that's another one I didn't see coming. And and again, it's just everything, just more of everything. It goes further, more questions, but more bad things happening. Everything, it's exciting watching these episodes back, man, because of course I'm shooting. I read this stuff, but I haven't seen what anybody's done yet. So to see it all come together like that, and see that episode, man, what a thrill.
Yeah, it's always a surprise. And yes, like you said, that ending is a surprise. And I can't wait for everybody to see that as well. I got one last question for you. And this is a little fun one. I've been asking everyone, because we don't know the name of this place. We're going to call it Fromville like everyone else. If you were to actually be stuck in a place like this, what would be the one thing you hope is on you while you're there? Don't say cell phone.
Coffee. Endless coffee. I'd have to grow it. I'd have to figure it out, but I would have to have coffee. then I can deal with anything.
That's actually the most original one I've heard. Scott, I want to thank you for sitting and talking with me
Thanks, man.
about From. Guys, listen, the finale is here. From the season finale, episode 10, this Sunday, 9 p.m. MGM Plus. Paramount, if you're in Canada, make sure you guys check it out. Scott, it's always
Thanks,
a pleasure.
man. Thank you. Great.
There you guys have it, man. From MGM Plus. It is coming out, the finale, this Sunday, 9 p.m. Make sure you guys check it out. I'm super excited, man.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. And
I've already seen it, and I'm super excited.
I hope the rumors are true. We get that season 3. Come on. Fingers crossed.
Listen,
Let's do it.
Dude, you're not ready.
I'm not ready for the finale?
Yeah, man.
Ooh.
The ending alone, yeah.
Let's get it.
But listen, we got someone special in the building today. Like, me and this guy, we've only known each other for, since like over the pandemic time, social media was like ramping up. It was just, everything was on fire. It didn't matter what you were doing. If you were falling on your face or making people laugh, the internet was the place to be in 2020, 2021, 2022. And I met this gentleman while we were out in the field. We took a couple of trips out to Vegas and we shot a music video. Like, yeah, it's
true.
Yeah, it's been a treat to know this man. So it was an honor when he was like, yeah, he's gonna come through and we're gonna sit and chop it up and talk pop culture, movies, television, whatever, just geek out. Ladies and gentlemen, none other than my man BMo The Prince.
Hey.
He's in the building right now with us.
What's up, brother?
What's up,
How you
man?
living?
What's up? Listen, man, what's going on with you? Like, I want to know what's going on in BMo's world right now.
A lot.
Okay.
A lot. So just to give a quick speed through of the social media thing, you already know, like, doing all that social media stuff has opened certain doors.
Yeah.
And introduced me to certain, like, dope people. And so I just finished up, I want to say, like, early this year, finished up with a producer friend of mine, this pilot I wrote based off of some of the sketches that I do online. And then now, after a little break, giving my mind a break, now we're trying to develop 2 features and another pilot.
Wow.
That I think will be pretty cool. So that process of working on that first pilot taught me so much about just like the art of storytelling, what people are doing, like all the stuff you guys are talking about. Seeing it from like that development stage is so crazy dope and cool to learn about and where people are thinking. So once I went through it once, now I'm like, all right, let's make this, let's make this, let's also make this. But that's basically, that's where my head's down, trying to go that path.
So are you planning to lead in these, or you just want to be behind the scenes and kind of?
He's like, my
Sorry.
show.
Right.
I mean, I think definitely in the first pilot I wrote, because it's based off of some of the sketches I've done, so like I very much wrote the lead as sort of my character, as myself in a way.
I think I remember chopping it up about this. Yeah.
And then there was, I think, I want to say 2 of the other ones, probably not. I just want to like write them. I think they're funny ideas. I think they're entertaining ideas, and I think they can still tell a good story. And I'll probably squeeze myself into all of them. You know what I mean? Because like, why write it if you can't put yourself in it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll probably try to sneak myself in there for a couple of these things, but it's fun. It's fun, man.
So you've been doing the social media thing for what? 4 years? 3-4 years? Is it been? Almost
2020 since
almost 4 years.
Yeah. So I'm gearing up on.
What are some things that, like, even for other people out there who probably don't know or want to be in your shoes, like, what are some things that you've learned in that very short period of time, good or bad? You know what I mean? Like, because listen, we know, like, we like to be in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand what kind of stuff comes with that, whether it's good or bad. You know what I mean? So what are some of the things that BMo's learned with being in front of the camera day to day, day in
One
out?
thing I learned, you know what was funny? This is kind of funny, is I got to go to like an early screening of The Flash, right? So I was like,
Well,
oh,
was it
this
the
is
same
dope. I don't know. It might have been.
I
don't
know.
But as we were sitting there, there was like, media, whatever. And And as someone that now just like wrote a pilot and went through the process of like developing all this and thinking all these things through and every little storyline and turn and word, it was funny to hear someone stand up and just be like, yo, that's trash, blah, 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 blah. And I'm looking at this dude and I was like, man, it is kind of funny how one thing I learned is that everyone's a critic.
Yeah.
Whether they can do it or not.
Or not, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I started to realize, especially through social media, because everybody's real quick to tell you direct that you suck.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm up here to put myself out there, though. You not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So say what you want to say, but I got numbers that say I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think the biggest thing I learned is just not letting that stuff kind of stop you from, if you got a creative mind and you got stuff you want to create, just create it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, put it together and put everything into it, bro, because
It's so easy too on social media to see all that negative and stuff and feed into it.
Yeah.
Don't feed into it. If you have to, freaking turn off your comments.
hell
But
yeah.
stay focused on the goal and what you want.
Hell yeah, because there's too much to be had, and everybody can win too. The
Exactly.
internet is vast as hell,
Right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
and so I've met a lot of great people through like creating stuff and through all that social media thing. It's dope.
Yeah. You want to know what's so funny? And this is weird because, like, I don't got BMo numbers. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, I get 1,000 and I'm like, yo, it's a good day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I always notice that, like, when you reach a certain peak in numbers or interactions, the first 500 to 1,000 could be positive. For some reason, every time you pass that threshold of, like, 1,200, that's when the trolls come out.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Without fail, every single time. Like, I'm looking, I'm like, all right, it's about to hit over
It's
1,000.
going well.
Somebody's going to come in
It's
here and
about
say,
to
"That's
hit."
crazy."
Yeah.
But the funny thing about that is I like it. I like when people come in and disagree with me. I like when people have something to say about the content, even if they're not talking directly to me. If they're just talking about the content in a negative way, I like that interaction because it's interactions, and that just
And it's
Yeah,
a
I know.
bumps you up. So.
Exactly that. Exactly that. You like
So-
the algorithm likes that you don't like this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Talk your shit. Talk your shit.
Go
Because-
on, please.
Because it's just gonna elevate your content more. But at the same time, it's good to see people agree, not agree, because everybody's different, and you just it also helps you just learn the human behavior.
Yeah.
Because some
Yeah.
people are just
Wild.
I sit back and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
I would have never come up with that. You are something special.
Yeah,
Like
it's funny because the whole thing that started a lot of my sketches was I did a dance video, like a TikTok, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Me and my wife did for a millennial thing.
Is that what took off first?
Yeah, it was that, and I was
Oh,
like,
word.
I don't be dancing, so I'm not doing that for y'all anymore. But then I started reading the comments, and it was like Gen Z, like ripping into me, and they were like, "Oh, why don't you go do your taxes?" I was like, "I did them in April. Get it right. You'll do them too. Get a job."
Right.
And so, like, when that back and forth started, I would use some of those comments and be like, "Oh, that's a sketch. Let me make a sketch about like that little argument we just had."
Yeah.
And then it turned into like just how much content is just like out there, and how many people like all those comments is content.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's easy content.
Yeah.
And like these people don't realize it. They're like, "Ha ha, got him. He ain't gonna make no more." Oh, he's talking about what I said.
Right.
All right, never mind. Let me shut up. So it's fun. It's fun.
So what's the wildest? I'm sure you get the DM. What's the wildest DM you could ever think that you've gotten?
The wildest DM
Yeah.
I ever gotten was from Cedric the motherfucker. Can I cuss?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead, man.
Motherfucking entertainer.
Okay.
Him, like I tell this all the time whenever like I'm on stuff, and it probably at this point, like anyone who sees me and I'm always talking about it sounds like braggy.
Yeah.
But it was such a humbling thing
Yeah.
because I had one day, it was funny, I think it was like a Monday or something, I found out that you had message requests, which I didn't know was a thing. And I looked and I just saw like, "Motherfucker, you get my messages before?" And it was Leslie Jones. And I was like,
Oh, shit.
"Is that? No."
With a blue check.
And then so like we were rapping, going back and forth, and then a little while later I did a video and I noticed Cedric the Entertainer liked it, so I went to his profile and saw that he shared it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "Hey, appreciate you," and he was like, "Yeah, man, like what? Like you got show ideas? Your stuff is funny and like smart, and blah blah." And I was like, "What?" So
We can
that's
chop it up right
yeah.
now.
So that stuff's crazy just because from those people to be able to reach down to because I'm going on a rant.
No,
Pardon
Nah,
me.
do
for
it
that.
up.
The floor is
Go
yours.
I feel like so many people want to dog the like content creator or the like influencer
Right.
or whatever. Like I think they're separate, but that's another thing. I think so many people want to dog them and be like, "Oh, you just do internet videos. You ain't nobody. You blah 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 blah." But I've found so many people that are legitimately talented, legitimately talented, and now are doing bigger stuff. They're
Yeah.
in movies, in shows, doing this, doing that.
Right.
You might not have known them before.
Yeah.
But now they're snowballing this into a career because they had talent, and that this gave them
For
a way to be
example,
found.
Issa Rae.
Yeah.
Yes.
She started on
Yes.
YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Todrick Hall, but he's
Yes.
done a
Yup,
lot
yup.
of with YouTube, and
Yup.
he would take Disney animated movies and recreate them to his own.
Yeah.
Hell
And
yeah.
even Pentatonics was on there
Hell
with
yeah.
him. You know, so it's things like that, and they're up there. He even
Yes.
Todrick even got his own show on VH1. So it's just a matter of just continue to push
Even
and push and push.
Quinta Brunson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quinta Brunson was
Yup.
doing. She was the. He got
Yeah,
money.
Oh, you got money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got
That meme went
money.
wild. That was funny, man.
And like I was actually telling one of my managers the other day, he was like, "So what do you want to do? Do you want to like act or just write or produce or like do you want to do all the things?" And I was like, "I kind of want to get on my Quinta Brunson and just start
Yeah.
like I want to do all of it." And he was
Why
like,
not?
"Word, that's what I want to hear."
Yeah.
But like she's doing everything now, and
Yep.
she blew up from there. So I think it's one of those things. I hate people that dog
I love her show.
that career path because like if you really take hold of it, you can start learning some stuff, meeting the right people, and like you can do big stuff because clearly you're creative if you're
Yeah.
doing it every day. So
When we went on that trip, when we were in Vegas,
yeah,
that was the moment where that term influencer, it hit me differently. Like I never looked at it as like a lower thing. You know, it's just like
Yeah.
I see people that talk about it. It's like, you know, you're a YouTuber, or like, you know what I mean. Like people look at YouTubers like they don't make money, but some YouTubers out there that make some real money.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And I made some really good money, not crazy money, but I
Yeah.
made some good money.
Yeah.
So, and just watching you guys in your element, and because I was just recording behind the scenes stuff and just just capturing the moments, and just seeing how everybody was like constantly at work. You know what I mean? Like it's like it never shuts off.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like people were doing the TikTok video dances, they were doing that, they were just recording content just constantly, and it clicked in my head. I was like, yo, this is like a constant thing.
Yeah.
Because one, you're fighting against the algorithm, and if at one moment you stop, shadow ban.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you gotta keep.
Well, you know what this is another thing that I kind of learned in that space that I've been doing this or whatever is that like the way I see it is like fuck an algorithm. What I'm gonna do is make sure that I'm putting out quality content that I think is good, that I think people will enjoy. I put my audience first and want to make stuff for them, and then if it connects, it connects. Whatever, it doesn't matter because eventually maybe the next video goes viral and then you come back and you see this one, like whatever. I just want to put good content out there and stop worrying about algorithms and whatever. But you're right, and
not everything hits either, right?
yeah,
Because I mean,
oh God, no, hell no.
And like,
Do you think too, if you focus on the algorithm, like it'll put you in a box because you're just focused on just trying to put something out?
It can, yeah. It can like crater.
Hinder?
That's the right?
Hinder.
Yeah, hinder, whatever.
yeah.
It can fuck up
Right.
your like creative energy and just like you
Right.
start focusing on the wrong stuff. But like you were saying, where it's a full-time job, my buddy told me way back when I was doing radio before I did content. I was like, how do you always have so much content for your show? Because he had a night show and he always had stuff. He was throwing away content. He had so much, and he was like, because everything's content, bro. And it like clicked.
Everything, yeah.
And then he just recently sent me this video of Seinfeld on the Howard Stern show. And Howard Stern was asking me, he's like, it must be torture that you're constantly just looking for a bit, looking for a gag.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're always working. That must be torture. And he goes, I tell jokes for a living.
Yeah.
I'm never working.
He's
type of
like-
shit. Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
Why would I not want to do this all the time?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It doesn't feel like I'm working all the time. I'm
Yeah.
just constantly looking for something. I go, oh, that could be great. Let me see if that turns into something. I was
Yeah.
like, That's exactly what it
insane.
is.
It's like you said earlier with the comments. It's like, this is content
Right?
right,
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
All
it's
this
content,
hate, I'm
yeah.
gonna use it and
Yeah.
use it as
Yeah.
energy.
That
Yeah.
perspective, though, because people don't have that perspective of you can take anything and make it into something.
Hell yeah.
And that's how you know who's passionate and who's not. It's like sitting here talking about movies and shit. It's like it's not work. This is like hanging out with the
Yeah.
boys and the girls, just chilling. We would have did this without cameras.
Yeah.
We do this without
Yeah.
cameras.
And that's like, you know what's funny is because I've been in, like trying to write these pilots and whatever, I started like digging in on sitcoms. And I hadn't watched all of Modern Family, and I think that's like one of my favorite sitcoms. So I like watched it
hilarious.
start to finish, all the way through, and then I watched that like after show thing that they always do.
Yeah.
And they were talking about it, and they were talking about the writers' room, and the writers were like, so much of what we put in the show were experiences we had. And he was like, so there's the episode, like Cam's running around the airport, they took something on the airplane, drowsy meds or whatever, but then the flight didn't take off, so then they're in the airport high as hell, running around. He was like, that happened to my mom. And he was like, so I know what happens. My mom went and bought a bunch of hats. So in the episode, you see them go buy a bunch of hats. So like, even on that level, everything's content. They're reaching from stuff they've experienced in life and turned it into content.
Life is just funny, period.
Yeah.
Everything. Life is just
That's what it
hilarious.
is.
Perspective.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So you brought up you brought up Modern Family, one of your favorite shows. What are you watching right now? What is BMo consuming these days, television wise?
So
And
Abbott,
not for work, just
Abbott
period.
Elementary.
Abbott Elementary.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I
love
watched that.
Abbott.
I like
That's a
Abbott.
great show.
I'm
I like
heavy
Abbott.
into Abbott
Hell yeah.
Elementary, deep in it. But what else was I just watching? I can't even think about it. But I've basically gone back on a lot of shows just because I wanted to catch up on sitcoms I didn't watch all the way like through or whatever. But the writing in Abbott, the writing in Modern Family, I've been on those the last 2 weeks heavy. And then no, I can't even think of it. Ted Lasso I was just watching.
Ted Lasso.
I just
I
finished
just
Ted Lasso.
wrapped up.
on Lasso. I gave up on Lasso.
It's a solid
Did you?
show.
I watched the first 2 seasons, but I tried to start the third, and I was just like, whatever. I was just not. I was over it.
I think I liked in the finale that they touched on so many things that were at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And like so many things came back around. So if you rode through it, it was like you got rewarded for all these like little memories that popped in and popped through.
Okay.
And even though it was 3 seasons, it was like all
Yeah.
these little fun things that you could add in. And I was like weepy-eyed.
Yeah, they really, that show really does balance comedy and drama like greatly, you know.
Well, it got
You can learn
it got
from that.
really dark in season 2. Like it wasn't that. Like it was very light. And what I loved about it at first was that I was like, yo, this show is interesting. And it's weird because it didn't follow the normal formula because there was no antagonist. And then when they made this guy the antagonist, I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
and if you go like that, all gets addressed too. So
Yeah.
like it's a great show, man.
maybe I'll go back. Listen, I always go back. I may not follow the trend and watch it while it's airing, but eventually I go back.
Yeah.
And I'm, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh, and you know what I just watched last night? Because I just realized that they have another season was Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I've been hearing about a lot
Yeah.
about
I didn't
that
even
show.
realize like they were still going.
Never
Right.
miss.
This was like, there's
Yeah.
no promo though. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're coming out with a new season. So when I saw that, we were like, what?
The show's been
Yeah.
on for like 18 years.
Yeah.
They're
And you
going
know what's
hard.
incredible
They're going
is
hard.
how like if you watch the early episodes, this is what I think is nuts. Like it was low key like racist.
Yes,
And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like it was like
when they
sexist,
played the black
racist.
people,
Yeah.
oh my god, and they did
Like,
a musical. Yo,
they did
we was like,
wild shit.
Wow.
But like even when you watched it then you never felt like offended by it. You were just like,
Right.
yo, that's wild.
Right.
And like somehow they've adjusted to the social climate still, but still somehow deliver
Themselves.
that same edge
Mhm.
with every character. And I'm like, I don't even like
they
in-
take it there. They really
Yeah.
push the boundary, and you're like,
Hell
yo,
yeah.
these guys.
And so there was like in that first episode there was like one running like sort of homophobic joke, but then to make you not feel like it's a direct bad joke, they like addressed it and like it was just like Mac walking out and be like, he keeps making these homophobic jokes, and then like that
Right.
one line makes you be like, all right, they get it,
'Cause
they
he's-
know.
Yeah, because he's.
They're not doing it because they like feel this way.
Yeah.
They know that it's just a joke.
And doesn't Mac play a gay guy on there too?
Oh yeah,
He
like there's
he's open and all that stuff.
yo, that show's wild.
Yeah.
So what about movies? What are you into? What are you watching?
Movies wise, I be all over the place. I just kind of like I'm one of those people that I'll open one of the streamers and like whatever just kind of jumps at me first, I'll watch it. And I'm also one of those people that like lots of people say it's a bad movie, and I'll be like, I liked it.
Yeah.
I gave it
There's always something to
Yeah.
trigger. Yeah.
I liked it.
I'm guilty of that. What was that one Eddie Murphy movie that you guys hated?
Oh, Mr. Church.
I love Mr. Church. Mr. Church is fire.
5 X's according to Klepcx.
Yo, 5 X's.
5
Listen,
X's.
yo, that was like when Eddie Murphy had never did anything dramatic.
Yeah,
Ever.
yeah.
Never. And he came back and did this dramatic movie about him helping this young daughter and the parents died or something.
I never watched it. Clark, get out of here
I
with
just
that.
know when I watched it was delightful. It was delightful.
Okay.
That's so funny.
Listen, Mr. Church, Eddie Murphy, check it out. You guys, listen, everybody knows Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
You know, Coming to America.
Yeah.
Check it.
Mr. Church.
Mr. Church.
I gotta
It's
see
better
that.
than
I
Pluto
never saw
Nash.
that.
It's better than Pluto Nash, and it's better than what? Ed? What was that? No, what was that called? The one where he was the one where he was like the monk guy, the monk dude. We had. I can't remember the name of it. Al, you know the name of that movie? You know what I'm talking
I
about?
don't remember names of bad movies.
Oh, shoot.
That was a
That's
joke.
content.
Anyhow,
That's
there you go.
content.
There you go. Anyhow, Mr. Church is popping. But I ask you because there's some new movies that's coming out, and I know you like the superhero stuff too.
Yeah.
So-
I mean,
He's repping today.
I got my Joker on.
It's a theme.
That's actually
I am a
damn
damn
good
good
book.
I'm like
I'm a bit
not
of a
in
DC
it
guy.
because
Not
you
in
know,
here.
wow.
Damn good book.
You right.
The-
Damn right.
But the movie was trash now.
Oh yeah, the cartoon
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, it was-
Yeah.
It's
So there's some new superhero movies coming out. One of them is a Sony movie based in the Spider-Man world.
Mhm.
I'm not really a fan of these Spider-Man spin-offs. Like I'm not.
They haven't hit yet.
Venom was not popping for me.
You
They
didn't
have
like
not hit.
Venom?
No, I don't like
I
Venom.
liked Venom.
That ain't Venom to me.
That's not Venom.
That's
I
a
like
symbiote.
Venom. I like Venom
Okay,
just because I
maybe
like
for the
some
new
of the funny that's in
generation.
it.
Yeah.
I like the
But
comedy.
sometimes it
Yeah.
leans too
Yeah.
much into the funny because
Right.
the Venom that I've always imagined and I know comes from the 90s
it's
cartoon,
dark.
and he's not a good guy. He's not
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
So I dealt with it. I thought the first one was cool, but I hated the second one.
Yeah.
I'll watch them, but I'm not a fan of the movies.
Yeah.
And then they came out with the Morbius movie, which for some weird reason I didn't hate Morbius.
What?
I didn't hate it.
Like really don't be
So
bad
so
movies.
there's
Like-
Mr. Church.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Church,
Didn't
and now
hate it.
Morbius.
Listen, I didn't say it was a perfect movie. I didn't say it was a good movie. I just didn't hate it. It wasn't as bad as people
Yeah, no.
made it seem.
Oh, it was
It could have been
horrible.
better, but I just didn't hate it. I walked out of
Yeah.
it like, wow, this, whatever.
It was a
Morbius.
movie.
Cool.
Yeah, it was good. Morbius. He fit. Maybe it was because he fit the role. I think it's because I see him and I'm like, I see Morbius. And it
Yeah.
wasn't like they casted somebody that didn't fit the Morbius role. Like, you know what I mean?
But you know that makes me mad as hell in like all that Snyderverse.
yeah.
I loved who they casted for just about everybody,
Right.
and hated that it disappointed the way it did.
Yeah.
Because I looked at a cat like Henry as Superman. I was like,
Perfect.
There
Oh,
he is.
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is Superman.
Yep.
That ain't no actor. That's him.
Yeah.
That's it.
I
Yeah.
believe
It's
You know,
Kal-El.
and like
Brilliant.
I loved it. Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I
Yeah.
love
I
like
dealt with that.
I
yeah.
looked at the casting and I was like, oh, I can see these things. I like it.
Yeah.
But then it just
The only one casting I didn't like was Ezra. He was never my Flash.
Yeah.
He was never my Flash.
Because Grant Gustin, baby, yeah,
Sorry,
Grant Gustin.
they were never my Flash.
Flash on that they had on Netflix. I think I watched it for so long that I felt that was my Flash.
Yeah.
So when
You
they,
talking about Gus Grant?
yes, sorry,
Grant Gustin?
Grant
Gustin?
Yes.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
loved him. I was like,
He's in there. That's
the
connected,
guy.
and,
That's
the,
our guy.
The character development was really good. I think just after a long time, it did become predictable and stuff. But again, like that was my Flash.
And that was the one. I know we're off rails right now, but that was the one reason why I did not enjoy the movie because the movie was a little too late.
Yeah.
And the story that they gave us in the movie was literally in like 5 seasons of the TV show.
Yeah.
Right.
It's nothing different, and like a
Nothing
lot
new,
of
nothing
people,
creative,
you know,
fresh.
they're praising this movie. It's an okay movie. I've seen that storyline
Yeah.
1,000 times, week to week.
We've got
Right.
Every season.
I know what
Every
problems they're
season,
gonna face.
Like, yeah, Barry them fucked up again.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you're a comic book fan, you get that reboot every 5 years of the story being retold.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
There's
man.
no, like,
it's literally the
creativity.
only Flash storyline they have.
Yeah.
The only thing they didn't do in this movie was put Reverse Flash in.
Yeah, Thawne.
That's it.
Song's missing.
That's the only, and they made up that we're gonna make evil Barry. Like,
Yeah.
yo, might as well just put Reverse Flash.
I ain't gonna
in.
lie to nobody though. I 100% went to that movie just to watch Michael Keaton be Batman again.
Exactly.
That's
Okay.
I
Dude, I wore a Batman
I was
t-shirt.
upset when
I
I
wore a
saw
Batman
on
'89
the
t-shirt.
But I still haven't seen the movie. And you know what's crazy? I feel like I'm very hesitant with DC because we're always given the same storyline, the same characters, and I do want to see new characters. So when I saw like, oh, we got Supergirl, okay, cool.
Yeah.
We got the like even with Batman, I love Michael, but I was just like,
Can I? You know what I felt they should have done?
What?
This is like I've told this to everyone that will listen to me. Is you could have followed the exact same. Okay, give me a minute. You could have followed the same sort of setup that Marvel had, and give me like individual movies, right? And just like we all know the stories, but just like give me those individual movies so I can start to invest in these characters.
Right.
Take the villain from each one that lost, and then instead of having the recruitment of the Avengers, have the recruitment of the Legion of Doom.
oh.
Then instead
Yeah.
of starting with like the Avengers movie, instead of starting with your Justice League, start with Legion of Doom. In that movie, all these superheroes got to start coming together because there's like the Legion of Doom is here.
Villains,
So then they got to come together. They can't do it. They suck. Whatever. And then you go to your Justice League movie where they start to come together. And then that's
There
how
has
you
to
can.
be a build-up. So
Yeah.
let me
So-
get connected.
So James
to
Gunn.
Yeah.
So James
characters.
Gunn.
Yeah.
When it gets to that big,
BMo
like,
has a plan, James Gunn.
I'm just saying.
Where's
Which
his at?
camera? What's me?
Yeah,
this
yeah,
one?
that's him.
This one? Hit me up, bro. I got you. I got you. We reboot the whole thing. We got it. We got it.
No, that's actually a really good idea. But since right now I have a lot more faith in DC than I've ever had.
Right.
I believe in James Gunn. I think he's
So
going to
do
do his thing.
Me
I can't
too.
wait to see what he brings to San Diego Comic-Con if he shows up.
Right.
We're going to be talking about Marvel in a little bit and how the ship is sinking. But there is a glimmer of light in Marvel, and I know you haven't seen it, but
Yeah.
Secret Invasion has just dropped.
Mhm.
Samuel L. Jackson.
I expect
Yes,
that
sir.
to be.
Yes.
Samuel L. Jackson has returned as Nick Fury.
Mhm.
I had an opportunity to see it. I know you saw it.
Yeah, definitely,
I saw it.
definitely.
Did not get to see
I
it.
did not.
We won't spoil it. For
Yeah,
you.
no spoilers.
I will not spoil the. Listen,
I can tell you the theme.
I would have been. I would have been going off right now because that ending of the first episode left me broken.
Right.
Yeah.
Left me
But-
broken too.
I'll save that for
Alright.
you.
All right.
But I will tell you this. I'll go first because I want to
Go
talk
ahead.
about this movie, this show. It was my most anticipated Marvel project since the end of Phase 4. Because it's a grounded Marvel storyline. I love the grounded storylines. I love the superhero stuff. I love the Guardians are cool. I love, the cosmic Thor. Never liked. Iron Man's great because he's more grounded. But Cap stories were always my favorite.
Yeah.
Because Cap was it's a superhero, but he's kind of in the real world.
Yeah.
And he's dealing with, espionage, spy stuff, and, he's fighting soldiers that are just like him, but, it's grounded. So when Nick Fury is coming back in Secret Invasion, I'm already like, oh, cool, I got the book, I love the storyline, let's go, let's watch this, let's see what it's about. They did not disappoint. It's slow the way it needs to be slow. It explains things the way it needs to explain things. It brings in characters that you're familiar with, that you have feelings for, you care about. And then it has Nick Fury, and Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, this is the Marvel that we fell in love with before Phase 4, where it was like kind of planted in reality. And I loved it. I can't wait to see the rest of the show. I wish it was longer than 6 episodes. There's only going to be 6 episodes, but I thought that they brought their A-plus game in this. Emilia Clarke is amazing in it. She looks great in it. Olivia Colman's great in it. Probably one of my favorite characters in the show.
Yeah.
She was barely in the show.
Yeah.
But the first episode anyways. And I'm 3 a.m.
You there.
I'm back to my 3 a.m. I used to be on Disney Plus 3 a.m. to watch all the shows in the very beginning. WandaVision was one of them.
WandaVision.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was my favorite.
Yeah.
WandaVision is good. It's great.
Yeah.
But my favorite television series from Marvel is Falcon and Winter Soldier.
No
That was
love
really
for Loki?
Loki's good.
Loki,
Yeah.
I love Loki.
Loki's
love
good.
Loki.
Hear me
Loki.
out.
I love
Loki's
Loki.
good.
Yeah.
My favorite Disney Plus series is Falcon and Winter Soldier. Period.
I love
I thought
Loki.
you was a Hawkeye guy.
No, Hawkeye was cool, but I only like
I
Hawkeye.
gave it some attention. I really got to go back to it though because I stopped after a while.
I only
wasn't
like it
grabbing
because
my
Kate Bishop's in
attention.
it. I only
Yeah.
like it because Kate Bishop.
Yelena was epic.
Yeah, but
She was good. She was
It's
good.
cool, but I like it because Kate Bishop. I want to see them pass the torches. I want to see these
Yeah,
young Avengers.
definitely.
I want to see the young Avengers, so that was the only reason I was into it. But yeah, I dug it. I loved the Secret Invasion. I don't know. What'd you think?
I thought it was great. Captain America: The Winter Soldier is one of my favorite Marvel movies. So, oh yeah,
Not the?
The Winter Soldier.
No, but you said one of your.
It's one of my favorites. There's a lot of them. They're all great. But for like you said, bringing it back to ground basis, and honestly, this also touches on some social commentary with the scrolls, right? Because right off the bat, they tell you what would you do if you can't believe everything you see?
Right.
Definitely don't believe what you hear. So it touches with this whole thing we're going through AI and deep fakes and all that, and yeah, that's what they're bringing into this. And seeing Nick Fury again, he's slower.
Oh yeah.
He's not as
Gotta be.
sharp
Yeah,
as
gotta
he
be.
used to be. So it just puts him in a very interesting spot, surrounded by people way more powerful than him.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see more. Yeah, it's only 6 episodes, but we're getting maybe hour-long episodes. So, this first episode really started with a bang.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting to see a whole lot more of that. Yeah, I'm here for it, man. Disney Plus, not 3 a.m. More on Wednesdays.
Regular human time.
Yeah, Wednesdays I'm there. Please, give me
3 a.m.
more.
We're going to call it 3D.
3
3 a.m. Disney. 3 a.m. Disney. Jelly, what did you think, Secret Invasion?
I really enjoyed it. I was also happy that we can see Nick Fury because since Iron Man and all that stuff, how he's behind the scenes. Where's Nick? What is he doing? So now we
Get on
get
the
to
moon.
see his movement and all that stuff. Like you guys definitely said, he's definitely slower. He's not really 3 steps ahead like he used to be. I noticed the theme behind the first episode is again, trust. You can't really trust anyone or what you see. You really have to question everything. Identities in question too. I'm really looking forward to what else the season's gonna bring. I had so many questions with some symbolisms with the clocks, the girl with the ball. I'm like, what is
Oh
this
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Well, that was that.
I don't know if it was. I don't want to say too much, but I just didn't know if it was a distraction.
It was.
It was a distraction. Okay,
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm like, she keep popping up. Like, what does that ball got to do with anything?
Listen, BMo, I know we're talking in circles right now.
Right.
But you are not ready for
Well, that's what I'm gonna do when I get home now.
You're not ready for the ending.
Don't tell
Tell
me.
me right now.
It's gonna break your heart.
Yeah.
I'd be one of those people that invest in characters hard. It won't even be that sad of a thing, but
Nah,
I'll be too invested that I
Right.
feel it.
You
Yeah.
might.
You know what I mean?
I felt it.
You might throw the remote.
Oh man.
I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, yo, I was literally like,
what do you mean?
I was like, what? What? Yo,
Yeah.
I did
I
not
didn't
see
believe
that
it.
coming.
Yeah. Yeah,
Alright.
so, yeah, Secret Invasion, man. It's, listen, I know I'm a Marvel, shill. I love Marvel. I love Marvel. But I feel like this is probably the closest to home as it's felt with their projects. I have not been a fan of anything in Phase 4 outside of No Way Home and, the earlier TV series and stuff like that. But, I wasn't really a fan of Ant-Man 3. I was not really a fan. I did like Guardians 3. Guardians 3 was fun.
Guardians 3 was really good.
I got my popcorn and my baby
Yeah,
Groot.
I like
You know what I mean? I thought Guardians.
Oh, I for sure did.
Right?
I for sure cried.
Oh yeah. No, Guardians 3 was probably the best thing they did since No Way Home.
James Gunn.
Yeah.
Back.
James Gunn, man. So so I'm super excited to see what happens in the show. I can't wait to see what's going on with the show. But since we're talking about Marvel, let's start talking about these topics because we got some topics to talk about.
Yeah.
But first, we're going to talk about we'll get to Marvel in a second, but we're going to talk about the industry because the industry right now is going through some changes, and we all agree that the movie theater experience is the way to go.
Yes.
But the streaming thing does exist, and the streaming thing, I honestly have a problem with the streaming thing. I'm okay with it. I'm comfortable with it. I've come accustomed to the new way of the new world, and streaming is very convenient for people, but there is no money in streaming, period. Because if there was money in streaming, a lot more people would be a lot more happy. And there's a strike going on because of things that are going on with streaming, and the companies can't even stay afloat. And now one of these major companies, Max, HBO, is now talking about leasing material, original content to Netflix.
Yep.
Al, you want to throw up the graphic on the slide here so we can get into the mood. What do you think about, I'm going to ask you first, Miggs, like, is this necessary? Do you think HBO Max needs to do this, considering the fact that out of all these streaming services, Max is one of the ones that actually does theatrical releases, Warner Brothers.
Right.
They do theatrical releases so they can recoup money. They can make money and then go to streaming. Netflix is not. So why is Max leasing to Netflix?
I'll tell you why. This is not the first time HBO, Warner Brothers Discovery, has done something like this. You know, in the past, they leased a lot of their A shows, right? Curb Your Enthusiasm, The Sopranos, The Wire, all to Amazon. But this is back before Amazon was producing their own show. So maybe now it might be a little different since, you know, direct competitors and all that. But Max, ever since the acquiring Discovery or merging, they've been in a tough spot monetarily, right? Financially, they're not doing great. Hence, they canceled the Batwoman movie, right? Batgirl.
You think that was financial?
Yeah, that was all tax breaks.
I just think the movie probably sucked.
It probably had a little bit to do with both, but if we all seen The Flash, and we could tell CGI was not great, man.
No.
So
babies in microwaves now.
Yeah, no. So I know that. Yeah, they went there. But but yeah, this is a great move for both. This is a win-win. You know, they'll get some money. There'll be more exposure for some of these older shows, and the fact they actually let go some of their A shows. So like Westworld is on Roku TV. You can watch for free. So they let go of a lot of shows already. So this is not the first step into what they're looking to do here.
Yeah, they're now talking about Insecure, which I'm not gonna lie, I think Insecure would bubble on Netflix.
Yeah, and it should.
I noticed too with Netflix, they're more like international now, and that's what I read, that Max wants to do that to broaden that aspect where it's more their movies, their A-list movies, are gonna be international. That's what I read on there.
So they want to move to Netflix to be more
international. Yeah.
Does one hand wash the other in that sense?
Listen,
I don't.
If you can bring back viewers back to Max, it's a win-win. Like they're not gonna give them House of Dragons. You know, they're gonna give them Insecure. They're gonna give them The Sopranos, older stuff.
Yeah,
you know, you're gonna get that quality, and maybe that was gonna get you to subscribe, so you can watch The Idol.
No, man. As a watcher, I'm a person who watches content. I consume.
Mm-hmm.
I have never watched anything on Netflix and was thinking, oh, that's a Universal movie. Let me go watch something on Peacock. No, I've never done that. I don't ever. I consume what's given to me. So if Insecure is on Netflix, I'm going to be like, yo, Netflix got Insecure. I'm not going to be like, oh, Netflix got Insecure from Max. Let's go to Max.
But you're not going to be like, okay, what else has Issa Rae produced? Like, you're not going to watch her other show? Because she's got one that's right now.
Reality show.
What is it, rap shit?
Rap shit. That was good, too.
So I've done that.
So
I've done that. I've done that. I got let down. I've done that.
Oof.
Because I loved Insecure. Loved Insecure.
You didn't like rap shit?
I gave it a shot. But it didn't pull me back.
Not for you.
It didn't pull me back. But that wasn't the thing that I was turned off from. It was when she did the reality show. You remember the reality show?
Yeah, with all the kids in California.
The thing about Issa Rae is, like, with Insecure, it had this gloss over it about, you know, black people and the way they lived in the Bay where she was from or in that area, and I love that. It didn't feel like stereotypical. It felt, it just felt. And then when I saw the reality show come out, I was like, oh, cool. Let me check this out. I'm like, I fuck with Issa Rae. Like she represent our people. But then when I watched it, it was like that same old reality show drama that I avoid. Like I don't watch none of that.
No.
Love and Hip Hop. No, I don't watch none of that. So.
90 Day Fiance?
No.
Yeah, I hear about that all the time.
Nah. I don't watch none of that. Like what was the Ink one?
Oh, Black Ink Crew.
Yeah. Like I can't watch people argue.
Yeah.
Like that, like gives me bad juju. Like I can't sit there and watch people fight.
Yeah.
Like it literally makes the insides of my body just curl up. Like I'm like, I might have a stroke.
Conflict for the sake of conflict. Just
Nonsense.
Right.
Because
Nonsense
and then
conflict.
being on the side that we're on, where we understand the work of a producer, we understand the work of writers, we understand how things are manifested for television, for the viewing pleasure, and for the views.
Orchestrated drama.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So when I watch it, and maybe that's just the gift and the curse, like I watch it and I'm like, they're arguing so hard right now because they were either set up to do so or because the producer told them to.
Yeah.
Like it
feels like an orchestra with no conductor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
when you understand behind the scenes of it, you're like, oh.
So for me, reality TV is just like out the window. So when I saw that, I was just kind of like, oh, well, I'm waiting for another Insecure from her or something of that magnitude, or you know what I mean?
I think Rap Shit is good.
I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, I feel like
It's just
that I would look forward to.
And that was like based on City Girls, right? Or something like I thought it was. It's based on City Girls. So I know about it, and it's just not. I don't really care about that. Like it's not my thing. But back to the whole Max and leasing their stuff. I don't know. I don't understand the plan. I don't know what they're
Money.
trying to... Well,
Money, Klep. They need
money.
They need
money.
money. WBD is not in a great place.
Yeah, because they're still burning money from
burning.
the whole Snyder thing, and but they got some promising things coming up. But my thing is like, I don't know where Netflix fits into all this because they're burning money too.
Yeah.
They're burning a lot of money, and they're not even doing theatrical releases to recoup that money. So, and I don't know. I don't know where I'm at. You got anything on that, BMo? Like, you don't understand, like, do you think that benefits, like, leasing? I can understand if they were going somewhere else with someone that does exactly what they do, but I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with it.
I just feel like all these streamers are eventually just going to jump together, merge together, and then it's just going to be like cable all over again.
Yeah. That's what I'm
eventually
getting
what's gonna
too. Because
happen.
even Hulu has Disney and what's the other one? It's not National.
FX?
Is it FX?
Yeah. Hulu has FX,
Yeah.
but Disney doesn't own all of it. Well, they may.
They got a part.
Well, they may
Disney's got a
because
part.
they're about to be forced to buy because part of the contract was if Universal wants out, Disney has to bid on it. That's part of the contract, so they may at some point own it entirely. I don't know if that happened already or if it was gonna happen, but I know that's like a thing. So, but yeah, streaming is just it's a double-edged sword right now with me. Like I enjoy all the content, I love watching the content, but I worry that it may hinder the industry overall because, like I said, there is no money in streaming alone.
Well, like BMo said, we predicting the future where we're going back to cable, and all of these services already have an ad-supported, you know what I mean? So this is how they make their money. This is what they're pushing.
All of a sudden ads are just popping up.
Yeah.
Where did
And
this,
how
if you
annoying is
if you
that?
don't want ads, you gotta go up to like $10, $15 to make sure you don't get that ad.
Yeah.
15, try 20.
I know, I'm just just throwing out a number. But it starts off really low. Then you want premium without ads, you gotta pay more. I'm like,
And if you're Netflix, they don't even give you HD, man, unless you go on a premium. Like what, bro? Who's watching stuff for $4.80? Get out of here! Get out of here! It hurts my eyes.
So yeah, I mean, you guys let us know what you think, man. I don't know, man. HBO Max, Max, my bad, Max
yes.
now.
Get it right.
They are. Well, actually, it said HBO. It didn't actually say Max. It just said HBO Originals.
You know what threw
Which
me
was-
off was it says Max, right? When you go in to look at all of the categories in the bottom, it's HBO Max. It's this, and I'm like, what is the difference?
So did you hear what the tagline was when they first changed the name?
What?
No lie. They got rid of the HBO and called it Max, the place where you can watch HBO.
Oh, all right, word.
Well, they need that brand association because if you don't know, like, what's telling you
true.
it's HBO here? Nothing.
But why get rid of the name if that's the brand you care about?
Because they're uniting,
They're
Discovery
trying to revamp.
stuff.
They're trying to revamp themselves.
They're trying to rebrand and be like
Rebrand.
those 90s skin flicks that we used to watch on Cinemax back then.
What happened to Cinemax? Who consumed them?
HBO apparently.
Right?
Max.
It was always HBO, no? I think so.
Yeah. So let's get to the next one, man. So we're still in the topic of like, there's still a lot more comic book content out there. The fatigue is kind of hitting me sometimes. Like, I'm in the mood right now where I just want to watch good movies. I want to go back to the 80s and the 90s and just watch really good movies. And listen, this is coming from a comic book lover. Like, I have books here. I have books over there. Al got books up there, under there. We got books everywhere. I'm wearing Marvel right now. We're all wearing some sort of comic book apparel. But I want to get back to movies. And right now, I think the industry wants to as well.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because a lot of things that were greenlit are now being put on the back burner or just being completely cut or taken off the calendar. And one of those films is a Spider-Man spinoff. Another Spider-Man spinoff. How you say that name?
El Muerto.
Yeah, so I can't roll my tongues like that.
El Muerto.
I can't roll my tongues like that. That's why I have Mickey Miggs
Mickey
here.
Miggs.
And that's why I have Jelly here, because
Hey.
I can't do that.
You know, I could just do the accent. That's it.
So Bad Bunny was supposed to, star in this Spider-Man spinoff about this wrestler. Now listen, I've read books.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of comic books.
You know this man.
I have never heard about
You
this
don't know this man.
Nothing about this character. And I don't think anyone cared, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think... Mega? No?
It's a new character from the latest run created. Now, what's funny is El Muerto is a Mexican wrestler.
Yeah.
Yet they hire a Puerto Rican actor.
Oh.
And then
They
America
always do that.
Chavez is supposed to be a Puerto Rican character, and they hire a
the
Mexican actor.
They always do that. They
Yeah.
always
Latinos
do
couldn't
that.
intermingle
They
apparently.
damn
But
sure
it is a
did.
fairly new character, and out of all the characters that Marvel has, and you want to do a Latino character, I mean, DC got it. Blue Beetle.
Blue
Boom,
Beetle.
Great
Yeah.
character.
I can't wait
So
to see
guess who Marvel got? You got the first real Puerto Rican superhero in White Tiger. Why are we not getting that film?
I know, you've
Yo,
been
Marvel, go
championing.
look it up. There's a fan film. You
Yeah.
can see the potential of that character. Why El Muerto? You know, and why Bad Bunny? It's because he's the
I'll tell you,
popular
Yeah,
I
we got
it.
feelings.
I'll tell you why El Muerto.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why El Muerto. Bad Bunny is the #1 streamed superstar in the world. They're just going off the strength of his back,
Yeah, that's what I was just
and
gonna say.
people will come out to
To
see
see
They
him.
will.
They
They will.
love
They will
him.
come out to
They
see
love
him.
him.
But
Because he's been doing everything.
Apparently
right
not.
now.
I
He's
never,
been doing everything.
I never heard of this villain?
Yeah,
He's a
I
villain.
don't even think
I never heard of
Spider-Man's
this
heard of him.
either, but I'm like, oh, I feel like it fits him because Bad Bunny's a character himself. So I'm like, okay.
well, listen. I mean, Bad Bunny right now, he's like heavy in wrestling.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
training.
Oh, okay, so
He's been
Heavy in
training.
He's
wrestling.
actually like kind of good.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
kinda
yeah.
He's
wild.
pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty
I mean,
good.
he's been in a lot of
He morphs
pay-per-view
into his
events.
Yeah.
He's doing Impact, right? Or is it
WWE, man.
Yeah.
WrestleMania. He just
I
had
still
the
haven't-
huge show in Puerto
I feel like
Rico.
every time I
That was
watch,
huge.
I feel like,
That was
I feel like
wild.
every time I watch, I
wild.
never see him. Because
Oh,
I've
you-
never seen him
Bro.
actually wrestle. But I've watched the
Don't-
last 3 pay-per-views and I
Yeah.
don't remember seeing his match.
Bro, his pop when he came out, it was just comparable to
Unreal.
Stone Cold, The Rock at their
What?
prime, bro.
Oh,
At their
man.
prime.
Listen, I like this guy. I like Logan. I just like the arrogant. He's like the new Miz.
Hey,
He's like-
he's about to be in Money in the Bank, so you're
I
gonna
like
get some.
Logan. I like Logan
Whatever.
Paul.
He's
I
a
like
good
Logan.
heel.
I like
Good
Logan
heel.
Paul. I think he's good. I think he brings something. But no. So yeah, this film here, like I said, a lot of people weren't checking for it, and they're just using the Spider-Man marquee to just sell this thing. And out of nowhere, Sony just they didn't cancel it. They didn't push it back. They completely removed it from the calendar. Now, that can mean a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of things have been moved. They did it with House Party. House Party, I remember I was in communication with the press team, and I wanted to get an early screening, and they told me that they just moved it off the calendar. They didn't know what they were going to do with it. And then, bam, it still came out. Still
Yeah.
came out. So that, we don't know what's going on with it, but you sound like you want to see this. You excited
I
to see
mean,
this?
listen, this, I'm a wrestling guy.
I am.
Shout out to wrestling, all the promotions, whatever. And also, one of my faves was in talks of getting a role in this. Mercedes Varnado, a.k.a. Sasha Banks.
Oh, God.
Mercedes Monet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she was about to be in there. And, come on, man. I love representation. So, we could switch El Muerto to be Puerto Rican. It is what it is. I'll watch it. So, yeah, man, I'm a little bummed out since, it seems like Sony's just throwing everything out the wall anyways.
Dude,
Why
I
not?
never seen. Listen, is it like
That was
something?
my question. I was like, is Sony just like, here, do something?
Yeah. No,
Because I'm
that's
just like, it's not
the-
really making sense
that's
to
what
me,
they
and it's
do.
all related to Spider-Man.
The
But
thing
I'm like,
that's
what are
the
you
most
doing?
confusing is that like Sony owns the Spider-Man rights, but yet they haven't included him in any of these spin-offs.
So here's the thing.
It's like you own the. Does Marvel got a stronghold on you? Like,
Yeah.
what is
No.
it, like
What it is Sony doesn't know how to make these movies, right? So
Yeah.
don't
they
have
had
the
two
right
Spider-Man movies under their belt, right? Like on their own, apart from the Raimis, because those are, goated. But we have Morbius and the Venoms. They just keep flopping. So
Yeah.
why would you muddle Tom Holland with
But-
this crap?
But you
Right.
can't even say that. Like Venom is in the billions, though, bro. You can't say it flopped. It's like $1 billion franchise.
Is it quality though?
No, I don't like any
There
of
you
them. But
go.
somebody did. Like, cause I'm the
Hey.
one. I feel like I'm
I
Money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They still making Fast and Furious movies.
Listen,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm not looking for this. I'm not checking for this.
And it's
I'll
off.
probably watch it. I'll probably watch it just cause.
Yeah.
Because and we got to talk about it. That's the only reason I'm watching. But other than that, I'm not really checking for it. I don't know, Jelly, you just use your people. Use
Yeah,
your
I
people.
watch it. I'm down to watch movies and just, even if it's good or bad, give my opinion on it. I'll watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I will. I will. Because I also like going every now and then to the movies by myself. And just like nerding out by myself.
Yeah.
Just quiet and chill.
Yeah.
At a theater too. Like go to the theater.
I
and
do it all the time.
I love that. So I'll probably, I will.
Well, there you have it. I mean, it seems like when it does come out, they're getting a little bit of our money. Al, you rushing, right?
Ah!
Early screening?
I'll be rushing to Alflix, baby.
Hey.
I'll be rushing.
Yeah, so, I mean, guys, let us know. You interested in seeing Bad Bunny's superhero, whatever that's supposed to be? 'Cause does he have superpowers, Al? What does he do? Is it like a magic mask?
I don't even.
He just transforms when he puts the
I don't
mask on.
even.
No.
Has he got a
care at
killer
this point.
finisher?
Yeah, Spider-Man comics have not been the same
Okay,
for several
Fabian?
years, and the characters that they've introduced, so it's like,
He's got a sidekick named Kayfabe.
Why not? Why not?
Kayfabe.
Hey, okay, baby.
he's Dominican.
Hey, shout out my people. Huepa.
Yeah,
Huepa.
I'm good with that. But now, listen, it's time. We got to talk about the main topic here, guys. Like, listen, because this is a morning session. We're going to be mourning a lot. So, with, coming off of that news that there's a Marvel movie that's not even going to get made no more, we got to talk about the current state of the cinematic universe, which is Marvel. Because right now, that ship feels like it is sinking.
It makes me so sad.
Oh, listen, my heart breaks every
Because
day
I'm like,
when I
we were
wake
on a
up.
good run. Like, what's happening? Is it too much happening? And you need to slow down,
listen,
regroup, and
I don't even think it's. I don't know what it is. I sometimes I have to train myself to think that there's not a conspiracy going on against Marvel because I feel like the industry is just tired of it and they're just like, we got to do something to stop this shit because it's literally making way too much money. It's making none of our other movies make any money and they're taking up all the screens, so there's no room for anyone to get any success
Right.
outside of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You drop your movie when a Marvel movie drops, good luck.
Yeah.
Because literally, you could have the most violent film in the world, most controversial, the most sexual film. It ain't making more money than a Marvel movie if you drop on the same day.
right.
So now we got two controversies with two of the best actors in this phase that most people like. We got Jonathan Ages, and then we got Tenoch. And that's right now the current state of just finishing movies is like on hold. We don't even know what's next, what's going on. Now we got the writer's strike, which I understand is out of Marvel's control. It has nothing to do with what's going on with Marvel, but because of the writer's strike, everything is getting moved. All the dates are being moved. Everything got pushed back except for Deadpool, which is weird.
Yeah.
They moved that up actually. So Deadpool's coming in May, I believe, of next year. Was it May? I don't know. I think it's May. But everything got pushed back, but Deadpool's still on task to come out next year. And then we get the news that one of the biggest events that happens every single year, I look forward to it every single year. I'd be lying if I said I don't travel like 3,000 miles away. Is it 3,000 miles?
Yeah, all the way over.
I just had to make sure. I didn't want to just throw it out there. But I traveled 3,000 miles just to watch the Marvel presentation at San Diego Comic-Con. Literally. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I mean, it's a great event.
Right?
It's a great event. We cover a lot of content there. We interview a lot of people there. There's so much to do. But there's nothing like the experience of seeing a Marvel presentation at San Diego Comic-Con live. It's like a rock concert. And we find out this year that Marvel's not even going to be attending Hall H this year. That doesn't even make sense. Like, when you say those two things together, San Diego Comic-Con in Hall H, no Marvel. What the hell is going to be in Hall H then?
Right. Do you even care what's going to be in Hall H?
Like, I do, however, think that this is going to be a great time for James Gunn to shine. Because hopefully DC and Warner have their...
The window is ajar.
Right.
Hopefully they got the ducks in a row and they know exactly what they're going to do to smash this room. Because I'm still there for it. Because I'm curious to see what James Gunn brings to the table. Because I want to know what's going on with DC. I'm a DC fan too.
I personally love DC's stories.
Yeah.
I just feel like it hasn't yet conveyed to the screen the way the comic book speaks to me.
I'm looking for something a little more grounded with DC.
Yeah.
I understand.
I feel like they tried to jump on the Marvel shit when you're not
Yeah,
Marvel.
yeah. And it was like guns blazing, so Marvel and epic and huge, and buildings crashing down, and it was just
but
like.
That's what they went straight for. There was
Yeah.
no character development. There was nothing for me to sit there and be like, oh, I can relate to this character. Oh, like this really makes me feel. It just went straight into, okay, this is who this is, really fast, their name, whatever. This is the situation. Bam. All this action-packed stuff, and I'm like,
and a lot of people, especially casual people, who didn't really understand, and I think that's why Marvel was winning for so long, because it was like, even if you weren't a fan, you had an opportunity to grow with it and understand and learn things. And people just figured, oh, it's Superman. We know Superman. Bam, it's Superman. It's Batman.
He's got friends.
But they keep putting out the same characters, and that's where it just becomes so like redundant and boring. And I don't care. Like even when they came out the Flash, I was like, this is cool. Like I'll watch it off the strength of James Gunn. Because he's also been in Marvel, and I trust them enough to know, like, okay, he knows what he's doing. But I'm just like, I'm over seeing the same people. I'm tired of Aquaman. I'm tired of Wonder Woman, Batman. We have so many Batman movies. And the Flash, cool, whatever. I know the story, whatever. But I'm looking forward to
Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Blue Beetle.
That
too,
looks really good.
Just because it's a break from.
My uncle's in there.
Right?
George
Got
Lopez.
family up in there.
Just because it's a break from what we're used to.
Yeah, I feel like, so I felt that the strength of like Marvel's building, everything that they built, was because even though every movie was its own story, the entire build was a story.
Yes.
Like Tony Stark was your protagonist, right? From start to finish. You watched that whole story. You watched him start as a cocky billionaire dude, and where he would never sacrifice his life for everybody. Then that's what happens, right? So and that could be why it kind of felt hard to jump back in after like Endgame. Because they told you such a full story through other movies, also interconnected, that it was one massive story told in a bunch of little sections.
And it was all around one main character.
And when you really sit back and look at the macro view, it was essentially, like if you want to break it down, like kind of just the evolving of Tony Stark to the end. And then you had such a finality in that ending that to try and like just jump right back in and like sort of
the story continues.
Like you can't restart that magic. Like who do I care about now? Who is this story about now leading in? I feel like we haven't found it yet there. And I think that's part of what DC didn't do either, is they didn't give you like, if it was going to be Superman, if it was going to be Man of Steel, they have to give us the ride with Superman and his path,
or
and let
Batman,
him be
or someone.
One of them, and let that path of them.
That's actually the first time I've heard it explained like that, and that makes a lot of sense, because I honestly think the one thing that hurt Marvel was the fact that they kept trying to continue these stories. And at that point, it was like a greed thing or like a money thing. Like, yeah, we understand these guys are billion-dollar franchises, but do we really need a Thor 4? Do we really need Doctor Strange 2?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like all the main Avengers should have went from the big screen to the TV and kept them there.
Yeah.
Giving us a break on movies and then do another movie
Right.
that wasn't those guys yet. And then you can bring them back when you need them. But I feel like you're right. Like, they were trying to ride on that momentum. It was like continue. Like, we didn't even get a break.
Yeah.
Endgame happened, and then we were forced to have a break because of the pandemic.
Right.
They pushed everything back a year because of the pandemic. But for the most part, like, look how they shoehorned Black Widow in.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't need Black Widow during 2020. Like, y'all just did it because you didn't want to keep holding on to it, and everybody was like, give it to us, give it to us, give it to us. And then y'all like, all right, cool, we'll give it to them. But they didn't have to. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
Are you saying that movie didn't need to happen?
No. The movie definitely needed to happen.
Yeah.
It needed to happen sooner.
It was rushed
It just
when
was-
it happened.
They just put it out, and it's not even a bad movie. Like, it's one
No,
of my
it was
favorite
really
movies.
good.
I think
It
it's a
was
great
really good.
movie. But when you watch that story and how it was done, you can sit back and be like, yeah, they kind of just cookie cutted the hell out of this shit. They took tropes from wherever they could and just said Black Widow.
And it kind of felt like at that point, she's not in my world anymore.
Yeah.
So I
She's
don't feel like,
gone,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? She's not in my world anymore. This movie's not taking me anywhere.
Yeah.
So it really is. When I thought about it after a while, I was like, why does it not feel like they're hitting like they were before? And I was like,
Right.
because that story was so beautifully told
Right.
that all those movies came together for that one story.
Yep.
That you had Cap, like, as everyone came in, they're all coming in at basically Tony Stark's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was his ride. They didn't want him as an Avenger. Then
Yep.
all of a sudden, like, all of
needed
that
him,
comes through, and he's the one at the end, which is what makes it so powerful when you
Right.
see everybody like, oh,
You know,
shit.
that's
And you see him
crazy.
all at his funeral.
Because in behind the scenes, like, I love when Marvel, they do the whole behind the scenes and they talk about the movies or they talk about the series, so you get more of an in-depth understanding of these characters and the purpose behind all of it. And he said, is it John? How do you say his last name? Favreau. He explains about Iron Man, how he was like, we had to do this the right way. Because he's like, without Iron Man, we wouldn't have been able to do all of this. He's like, we had to get it right, because if not, we wouldn't have had, the Avengers, Captain America, or anything as we know. So when you're saying that, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. They had, like, the way they started with him, they had to end it with him.
Yeah. Definitely. They knew that's where the heart was. You know what I mean? They had to sacrifice that. You know, that king. They had to sacrifice the king. You know what I mean? In order to make that impact at the end of the story. But in doing that, I feel like the plan wasn't that solid. Like, I feel like, was Kevin being cocky? Did he think that, oh, they're on the train, they're not going anywhere? Like, we can do whatever. I mean, they came out strong with WandaVision. WandaVision was strong.
I love that one.
Falcon and Winter Soldier was strong.
Yeah.
Loki was strong.
Yep.
But then, what was the first movie after that? Was it No Way Home? I don't remember what the first movie
Been
was.
so many, Clep.
No, I'm saying
so many.
I'm
I'm tired, Mr. Stark.
But the thing is, too, with WandaVision, what I loved about that I really felt like it set it off for the other shows, and I kind of put them on a pedestal, because I was like, where are they going with this? I'm like, okay, they're making it very, like...
Well, I kind of figured it from
but
the jump.
then,
I was like,
because, I don't like to predict what's going to happen. I like for you to just, like, throw me that plot twist and be like, oh, shit, that makes so much sense. Like, how did I not see that coming? When the person was coming out of the pothole thing, I was like, what's going on here? And so it started all coming together, and I was like, yo, that's, like, I love that. I don't want to predict nothing. I want you to give me, like, this shock factor, this wow factor. And I hear what you're saying. It was getting lost in the sauce probably after when the Falcon and Loki. Because after that, I'm like, oh. This is like,
man. I just I feel like they were just doing too much, too soon, too fast, and I just
didn't put too much thought into it.
I don't feel like we should be holding on to these older characters. Like, yo, just put them on the shelf and play with the toys later. Like, if you're gonna build out new, and I did like Miss Marvel. I like Miss Marvel. If you're gonna build a new world or a new whatever, you got to start fresh and stop holding on to the old. Like I said, like I watched that Thor 4 and I'm just like, this movie didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
It didn't serve any purpose whatsoever. It didn't
What
need
I
to
feel
happen.
like they could have or should have done if they wanted to like sort of just restart with a new big bad and a whole new Tony Stark story, whatever. Like have something, because it felt like to me for a minute that they were gonna have Spider-Man be your new Stark.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
I
because
thought
that
that
was
too.
a talk.
So I was like, all right, so then this is now Spider-Man's growth story
Right.
and how he progresses and whatever, and maybe in that first bit he doesn't want to do this anymore because of Tony.
Yeah.
Right.
And like he has to be
Lost
pulled
it.
out and it's hard and this, that, the other, and then build around that. It just feels like they got caught up in always wanting to make an end game
Yeah.
rather than make a bunch of movies to lead me to the next
To the
end
next
game.
thing, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like I like the idea of like Kang having a bunch of different
I love
Kangs
that.
all over the place. I love that.
They
But
could have worked their way into
him
that.
popping into Ant-Man felt like I was like this
He
feels
saves that movie.
this feels weird that like what is happening here?
He saves that
And
movie.
also like why was like it just feels like there's so much happening that there's no main
Yeah.
streamlined story. It's just a bunch of stuff happening in
Yeah.
all these places.
Yeah.
I need that one story to keep it all centered and grounded.
Well,
in
the cool
in a
thing,
spot.
like I've heard cool theories out there. Like a lot of people think, well, some people think that everything that we've seen, everything that we're seeing in these new phases right now, that they're not the same universe.
Oh, that's
See, I feel like
Because if you
had
bring that
feeling too,
together-
because we're in the multiverse, so
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, we're
Yeah.
in this world, and oh, we're in this
Yeah.
world. Like it's all weird, and we don't
Yeah.
feel like you said grounded. So we're like,
Yeah.
what's happening?
now if you hit me with that, if all of a sudden one movie I find that out, I will
Nah.
forgive.
I
I will
Right,
forgive
right.
just
Like,
about
you saying
everything.
like
I
that?
feel
Alright,
like we're
I'm with
about
it.
to
I'll be like,
go
oh, y'all got me,
into
okay.
Right,
a big
We're
reset.
fucking mad shit.
That's what's happening here. These guys aren't showing anything. They got nothing to show. They already laid out their slate for years to come, right?
There
Like
was only a couple.
we
movies
have
that
two
didn't-
Avengers
yeah.
movies on the horizon,
Yeah.
you know, and those are far out and even farther now. The writer strike's definitely not helping. These guys gain nothing going in there to show you what. They have nothing.
Yeah.
They have nothing to show you. Know what's coming. None of it is ready.
None of it. There's not one.
Sit there and wait, and eventually we will, you know, we're gonna go into Battle World. We're gonna reset all these worlds. We're gonna have these incursion event, right?
Yep.
All these worlds are gonna collapse. Maybe we'll get Venom, you know. We'll bring these characters, Kraven, the new Kraven. Like we might get these people eventually together, or maybe we'll just get a new Iron Man,
Yeah.
or a new
But it has to
character
make
to
sense.
follow.
What
I
he's
was-
asking for is Crisis on Infinite Earths, but done in Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
We're gonna get that. We're gonna
No,
get that.
it's Secret War is definitely the crisis. You know, we know that. Like it's definitely the Marvel's crisis on Infinite Earth, and I believe you. I think we're gonna get that too. I feel like they just need to slow down. This break is much needed.
Yeah.
As much as I wish that they were going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, well, they're going to be there. Let's get that straight. They're going to be there. They're just not going to be
Nothing
presenting.
new, right?
They're not going to present in Hall Lace like they normally do. No, I heard Daredevil's supposed to still come through and
Okay.
all that. So
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Daredevil.
Oh yeah, Daredevil's my favorite Marvel character. So I can't wait for that stuff. But I'm glad that they're kind of stepping back. Kevin's like, yo, listen, we need to take a breather. Let's regroup, and then because there's so much they got to deal with. Like the Jonathan Majors thing is a bummer. Like I hope that gets settled the way it
Oh,
needs
I
to be
hope so
settled.
too, because it sounded like she just played him.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what it sounded like, but I hope that he wins that. If you know.
and then the thing about what's his name, Namor.
Tenoch, yeah.
Yeah, Tenoch. He,
Tenoch Huerta.
the only thing he's got going for him is that he's not been charged. So,
Hey.
yeah, he's never been charged. He's worried about his reputation. I'm like, bro, but no one's coming after you. Like,
Wait, something happened with Namor?
yeah, you didn't hear about
I didn't
that?
read that one.
Oh, wow, yeah.
He got caught up too, like Majors.
Well, it's an ex-girlfriend that he was dating. I guess they had some drama, and she's like, calling him a sex offender, and but he wasn't charged. She just put it out there into the
Yeah.
world, and he's worried about trying to revitalize his reputation and things like that. But I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, really, you don't even have nothing hanging over your head. Like, people said something, but the police ain't knocking at your door, But so they got that to deal with. They got the Jonathan Majors thing to deal with. They got the writer's strike to deal with.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe
thank
there's a
God,
sign, like-
thank God we got.
regroup.
Yeah,
regroup.
you know,
Yeah, just
maybe
chill,
it's
just
for the best.
chill, and let DC shine. I'm excited for the DC stuff, and I don't mind if Marvel just takes a back seat and just says, you know what, let Gunn do his thing. We'll be back. They'll be back.
Yeah.
I have a question with that too. Isn't it at like one point? Didn't DC and Marvel go at it?
Wait, in
Like
the book?
yeah.
Yeah. There's a Marvel vs. DC.
Yeah.
In comics, definitely they've gone to battle,
And they've talked about it.
My
battles.
grandfather
Yeah.
used to tell me about this.
I have those books.
So I used to be like, oh my god.
They-
Because I would kill a lot if DC would catch up to some degree. Now, it doesn't even, I don't need you to catch up all the way,
Yeah.
just to some degree, and just give me that smash so my brain can, I don't care if it's good or not. Just let me sit and let my brain just explode.
problem-
for
problem-
that,
Right.
you know what I mean?
No, the day that comes.
Yeah.
The problem with that is like, who wins? You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's like,
You don't have to trade wins.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Or just give
Or
me a
they-
good
I know how
fight.
They battle, and
Give me a
then
good
there's a
battle.
collective big bad that they
Right.
get
Look,
together
right.
and they be like,
It's
you know
decided,
what?
it's very
Why we
simple.
fight?
Right.
You're gonna have
This is
Marvel
our
writers
real,
on one
you know?
side,
This
DC
motherfucker
writers
right
on one
here.
side. This is the story, Supes versus Cap. All right, so now before the writers write the finished story, both those writers got to fist fight one another. And the winner, gets to choose the wins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's
I'm
like,
with it.
bro, who does Superman even go against? Century? That's it. It's the only one who can take
Yeah.
him.
Oh, well, Century Marvel, man, Mr. Miracle, that's a
Yeah.
top heavy hitter that Marvel's not using yet.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to introduce him into Marvel proper because then
Yeah.
it's a wrap for every character.
So yeah, man. I mean, that's really all I got on this, man. I hope that it
Clep's reaching out.
Yeah, listen, this is oh man, Papa Feige.
It's okay.
Papa.
We need a break. It's all right.
Yeah. It's good too, because like you said earlier, it's good to let other movies
Get
come
to
back.
shine,
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm ready for the real theater experience, man. Like I'm having fun just going to the movies to see things that don't have anything to do with superhero stuff. I've seen some pretty good stuff. I've seen Boogeyman. I've seen what did I see recently? I can't even remember the last thing I seen recently. But I'm
Fast X.
Fast X.
Yeah.
I've seen Fast X.
There's just a lot of blockbusters this year. You know.
Yeah, and I want to avoid the blockbusters. I want to just see good movies. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm all about the theater experience, and it doesn't always have to be something that I have to see in IMAX for me to enjoy it. Like sometimes I just want to watch a story that's a good story, and there's a lot of that stuff coming up. I can't wait to see Challengers. I still got some stuff I need to catch up on this week to see because I wanted to see what's that Jennifer Lawrence movie that's out?
No Hard Feelings.
Yeah, I want to see that. I had an early screen, but I skipped it. I was tired, but
It looks
I
funny.
wanted to see
I
that.
love me a raunchy comedy. So.
And there's another one. Oh, The Blackening I want to see. I
Okay.
want to see The
Oh
Blackening.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
auditioned
funny.
for that.
Really?
I auditioned to be the nerd character in it, but I didn't like nerd it up all the way because I was like, there's no way they want like goofy nerd. And then I watched the trailer and I was like, they did.
It's like they got Steve Urkel.
But I gotta
was
tell
like,
you
they
something.
did.
I gotta tell you something. This is my prediction. And you people, you know what? You can spoil it for me in the comments if you've seen The Blackening. I have this feeling that that's the killer.
Ooh.
I'm not saying nothing.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not saying nothing.
So you know.
I don't know
Right,
nothing.
he knows something.
Yeah, he
He
knows
He's
knows
like, they
something.
gave me a knife, and they were
And-
like,
and it was-
how
I don't
do you
know
feel?
nothing.
And it was sad because I thought that immediately when I saw the trailer. I was like,
Really?
oh, he's probably the killer. I thought that, like, immediately. But I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. Just don't tell me who if I'm wrong. If I'm right, be like, you know what I mean? Because I didn't even see the movie. I just saw the trailer, and I was like, that's the killer. But yeah, this is literally all I have today, guys. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank BMo for coming through.
BMo.
It's been an honor, bro. We got to do this again. We got to figure out. And Miggs is in the building. Jelly was in the building. She made it to work. I like that. She made it to work. We're going to see you guys next week. Next week, we're going to be talking to one of the representatives from Crackle. He's going to be coming here, via internet. We're going to have a chop up and talk about, streaming, the streaming industry and what's going on and what they got coming out because Crackle is actually doing some cool things and they're also going to be starting to get into the original content game. So I'm really interested to be talking about that. So I'll see you guys next week. And until, of course, for more movie news and television news and pop culture, guys, make sure you're checking out wearecritics.com. And I'll talk to you all later. Peace.